Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gateway Center here at the Gateway Center in College Park, Georgia. But we get some. Let me get a couple of things straight here because we're on, but we're not showing in the StreamYard. So let me make sure. There we go. There we go. Slight delay in the StreamYard, so we're up now. That technology, folks, we're getting it in. Yep. Having some fun. I guess people will let us know if we can let us know if they're hearing us, but the audio is fine. That's what I'm trying to make sure that the audio is good. As we are preparing to do this thing in between some of the games, and right now, before we get into the recap of what happened yesterday, as you can see, we've got the athletic director here from the Texas Southern, well, I ain't gonna say the Texas Southern, Texas Southern University.
Well, it's all the same.
It is.
Whatever you want to say, it's all fun.
All right, Coach Drake. There you go. We got it all in there. Right. And the women of Texas Southern just put a game on Prairie View, and they won that one going in. Coach, how did it feel for that?
Well, it's always great. Anytime you can get a victory in the tournament is super important. It allows you to keep your season alive and keep going, and you live to fight another day. And now you get the first round. Well, this is second round now, so you get that under your belt. You get a game under your system. You kind of get adjusted to the tournament style, and now you get ready for the next one.
Yeah. All right. Well, there it is. Getting it in. Well, first off, congratulations on that. Getting it going. Let's get you before of course. Those of you who are watching, let's go ahead and introduce those who are also here with us. Of course, from the BCSN Sports Wrap, Mr. A.D. Drew. And the man, the myth, and the legend in the building for basketball, Coach Petaway from the Carlos Brown Show. Get it in. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Doing fine, man. Doing fine.
Wait a minute. You said you got to follow, so it's a follow-up question to the one I just asked it. Okay, well, I'll let you get that one. We got to catch Drew sometime, Coach.
Go ahead.
Well, it's important for us to get back to the hotel and assess the injuries, as you stated. We are down some of our players due to injuries, and you all know as coaches, this time of the year, man, it's who the health is half, but most of the time the upper leg, because as you matriculate through and you start getting in those semifinals and those finals, you really need to rely on more than just, the handful of players that you may have available. You need your entire bench, and some of them were two of our starters we're down. So I got to give our women's a lot of credit. They came out and did exactly what I was hoping they did anyway, was go ahead and put the game away and be able to, not exert as much energy as you need to in a close game. And obviously it's a rivalry, so it's always emotion every time we play Prairie View that requires a certain amount of energy. Even if you win it or you lose it, you're spinning so much. So I was excited to see about that. And then our training staff, they have excellent training staff. They'll get there to the hotel, assess the injuries, and then start treating the injuries. The good thing is, let me say this, we got that one day in between,
right,
too.
Yeah.
And that gives us an extra day.
Yeah, yeah.
No, except the tournament.
Yeah,
the tournament.
Yep.
It takes you back to, and I'm sure you all familiar, it takes you back to AAU where you got to play all these games.
Yep.
Yeah, so it takes you back.
Yeah.
Right. So it gets the students back to that normal feel of that grind. We got to grind every single day. So, hey, we've all been through it. And, hey, like I said, that's the reason why it's important to have a bench during this time because you're playing these multiple games. So you need the energy.
And it's also a good thing that you go ahead and play your regular season like it matters so you can get that bye. See, because Coach Skeet and her ladies did an outstanding job, they had an opportunity to get that extra day off. So that's why the regular season is very important. A lot of people say, well, you just peak toward the end. No, you better be trying to win those conference games so you can get a bye because to me, that's an easier route.
It is. I would agree.
All right, well, Dr. Granger, I want to ask you a question and definitely going to get you to chime in on this, Coach Pettaway. The tournament is here for the next 5 years.
Right.
What has been your impression so far, and what are you looking forward to in that process?
Well, I think it's a great move. I mean, I think a lot of schools have an alumni base. Even Texas Southern, we have a solid alumni base here in the Atlanta area. And I think with the schools, with the HBCUs that are here in Atlanta as well, hopefully they'll come out and support the other HBCUs, the SWAC that are playing. So I think it's a great move for us as a conference to hopefully bring some fans out to the games because that's what it's all about. These student athletes, they're laying it and pouring their souls into these games. And so we want to make sure they're having, playing in front of crowds and they're well attended. So we're excited about the move here in Atlanta.
Right, and I'm going to echo that too. I love the fact that we're in Atlanta because this is the Mecca. And then, like Dr. Granger said, all of our schools have alumni chapters here, and they're pretty strong, pretty big. In fact, when I walked in this morning, I thought this was the A&M crowd because Texas Southern colors are the same. All of us are the same. But I was like, wait a minute, that's TSU. Right? So, but it's good, and this is a nice venue. The venue is the right size for us. I think you stay here until we're bursting at the seams. Then you look at another venue. So I like the move that the commissioner and the ADs made that decision to come here. So I think it's a great move for our conference. Right. 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 You're right.
Exactly. Hey, that's an excellent comment, right?
Yep. Well, guys, listen, I think one of the things that we have to do is just get to a point where we are marketing because it is. Atlanta is a prime location.
Right.
Because I can guarantee you, I would venture to say 75% of the HBCUs have either their second or third largest alumni chapters based here in Atlanta.
Right. Yep.
I know that is a major factor. A lot of folks move to these urban areas, and so they're getting in there outside of their home market. This is probably the best one. And then it's Atlanta, so it's easy to get to for anybody that wants to get into and come in and engage with the tournament and get some things going.
Right.
So Dr. Granger, we know you probably have some things to do. We appreciate you sitting there with us. We are in between games. We got about 37 minutes before the next game starts, which will be Southern versus Grambling. I believe that is a men's game, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
That is the first men's game of the day. There it is.
Hopefully we can continue that statement.
Definitely.
Thank you all for having me on. Pleasure always to sit down and talk to you all, especially sitting with this legend. I remember these legends.
No, that's the shooter, though. This is the one right here.
Well, listen,
this is the man.
We're going to have to make sure we take some time out in the next, and I'm going to go ahead and call this in the next 5 months or so, to sit down and talk with both of you.
Okay.
And talk about that history.
Right.
We need to record that history. We're at the point now where we're getting ready to start doing things that, we can't worry about asking other folks to do for us.
Right.
And we've got while we have these legends in front of us and able to touch and break bread with you, we need to make sure that we grab that history that is the HBCU sports diaspora so that generations to come know who you all are.
Right.
Sounds great.
AD Granger, Dr. Granger, thank you again. Coach and AD, let's get into this. Unless you want to sit in and talk about it, you got to go.
I got to congratulate my brother.
There you go.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. So AD and Coach Fenway, let's get into it. AD, I know you got some stuff about yesterday that you can tell us. Can you tell us what happened and some of the things yesterday, Coach? You called a couple of games,
Right.
And if you want to start, go ahead.
Yeah, it was up to me. It was upset city. I mean, when you can start your first day off where the underdogs or the lower seeds went out. I mean, that game yesterday with FAMU and Mississippi Valley, man, that was a game for the ages. And then, of course, Prairie View knocked off Bethune-Cookman, and which led us up to this game today. It was just fantastic on the women's side. Now, on the men's side, the seeds, they held their own. But this is a great tournament. AD, I really like how things are starting out, and I'm looking forward to today. Oh, the 9-10 win. Yep, NT. Yep.
Neither team could.
Right. Yep.
But the other team turnover and shot or something would happen. I mean, one thing that I thought was the fact that you the game down, especially on the floor and outside. Got it fouled over there. Normally, it's postseason.
Right. Right. And then the other thing that I was shocked about, when the point guard for Mississippi Valley, right with about 2 minutes left in the game, she fouled. It's like she didn't understand time and score, because they didn't have to foul because you're going to get the ball back yesterday. And when she went out, I said, it's over with for Valley. But those other ladies said, no, we're here for a reason. And they were able to regroup, and they came out and pulled that game out. That was awesome. Right. Right. Yep. You got two square. Yeah. All the way down. Yep. Right. Well, to be honest, I would have had it the same way you. I like going 2 for 1, because if I don't get it, I got another opportunity at it. So, and then with the women's game, you could call that timeout and advance the ball. So, right. Yep. Now, I'm going to tell you something else that I think some people miss. One of those games yesterday, they had fouls to give and didn't use them, and the game ended up going to overtime. That's not good. Everybody on that bench, the players, the coaches, the entire staff, they got to be in tune into what's going on in the game. And time and score is a big thing when it comes down to stretching basketball.
When I talk about it, I will remind you that 5 seconds of the game. You have a foul because
Right. Right. See, situational basketball is very important, and you have to go over stuff like that in practice. That you do that in the preseason. You start that in the preseason, and then as the season goes on, you still every now and then you come back and do situational basketball so that your kids are in tune to what's going on. So it will not be foreign to them when you draw up something or bring up something late in the basketball game.
You know, as we continue this conversation, one of the things that we want to get into, and we hear it all the time, tournament is a completely different series. That Mississippi Valley team lost by almost 30 to FAMU earlier in the season. Granted, FAMU was down a couple of players now, but they were locked in, and you could see it, that they were locked in and committed to everything that they were going to be doing. And the one thing that I was curious about, you talk about some of the moves that were being made, and didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Gordon, but those two guards, FAMU had the size over them.
Right.
I'm surprised that they kept letting those girls get those three balls off. And I mean, if you put somebody big in their faces because they were doing it, but hats off to the Lady Delta Devils that are moving on to the round, and they're going to be going. Go ahead, AD.
They may have had the size, but Valley definitely had quickness.
Yep.
Which made the difference. And when you have size, is hard. The size is they got to be right there.
Isn't that why they've been a help defense coach?
Right. Yeah. And look, here's the other thing that I noticed in that game yesterday. Mississippi Valley would put them in select ball screens too at that free throw line. They would bring that center up to set that screen. Yes, sir. And they scored on that at least 4 or 5 times during the game
yes,
yesterday.
Sir.
Now that ball screen was very effective for Mississippi Valley.
So.
Right.
Again, congratulations to the Lady Delta Devils.
Oh, yes.
That's right. James.
Yep. Over Jackson State, yeah. Yep.
There you go, folks. Again, congratulations to the Lady Delta Devils. And we're going to, Drew, what was the next game you want to talk about? Let's do the women's game first.
In that first game, you talking about the Bethune and Prairie View. Okay, yeah. Well, Prairie View just came out. They just played Inspire.
Coach, I'm sorry. Let's do this. Drew, grab that headset right here and switch it out. People are saying that they can't hear you, so take that headset off and then let me go ahead and get that one in. Coach, I'll take that.
Okay.
Mic check 1 2.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, we can hear him, but for some reason they're not able to hear him online. So hopefully with that switch out, it'll make a difference. Folks, let us know if you now hear Drew. So all that great pontificating was hard for people to hear, man. So we have to let you roll back again.
That's all right. You had to be here to understand. We'll catch it on the next time.
Right. At that first game yesterday, Bethune-Cookman and Prairie View, man, Prairie View just played lights out, man. They did what they had to do. They came in here prepared. Coach Pugh didn't want her season to end, and she had those ladies ready to go. And it was a great battle, man. And that started this turn. That started the day of upset. So that was the first game, the 11 o'clock game.
Wow.
And we had a nice crowd. The high school, the high school and elementary kids were here. So it was a decent crowd, and the atmosphere was off the chain. So Prairie View did what they had to do, and I'm proud of it. Coach Pugh, she wanted to live another day. Unfortunately, she had to play against her rival again, and they just played last Saturday. So that's one of the things in tournament play. Grambling and Alabama, men just played last week, and then turned around and had to play each other yesterday. So,
Right.
But the tournament is off to a great start. I really like the way the tournament is going right now, and there's been a lot of energy in the building.
All right.
You did mention Grambling, Alabama A&M. I know you're just as sore as I am because the A&Ms are slowly coming out of the tournament right now. Talk about that Grambling, Alabama A&M.
Well, Grambling seems to have the number. You know, they won both matchups during the regular season, and last week they really put it to A&M on their home court. And so coming into the tournament, I knew in those kids' minds, I was wondering whether or not they even felt like they could beat Grambling because of the way the other two games went. So I just think Coach Jackson had his kids ready to play. They played the same way they played a week ago. They used the inside game. His guards shot the ball extremely well. And they just made big-time plays yesterday. Dozier was amazing, man. He just went to work. And that's why Grambling was able to beat Alabama A&M.
All right, and they face their mortal rivals. Coming up next here, 25 minutes, the Bayou Classic in the ATL. So that's going to be another. There's always knockdown drag out when we get to those games. So go ahead, Drew.
I was going to say the one thing on the men's side, definitely.
As my man Jeff Walker's in the building.
Yeah, but on the men's side, I think the tournament is wide open.
Yep. Come on in.
Come on over a little bit more. My Rattlers know who Jeff Walker is.
Yeah, on the men's side is wide open. I think anybody 1 through 8 can win this tournament on the men's side. Would you agree, Coach Pettaway?
Oh yeah, I think it's wide open. I think everybody's in here fighting for the same thing. Everybody wants to be crowned champion on Saturday. But we got some great games coming up. We're going to start off here in a few minutes with Southern and Grambling coming in here. And then, of course, later on, you're going to get Jackson State. Yep, that's
the nightcap.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I actually, I think of the 4, and I'm gonna let you finish those 4 first. No, let me let you finish 4 first round games. Then I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay, well, no, Jackson State is going to end up playing Florida A&M. I think that's going to be.
We need to talk about that Florida A&M game.
Yeah, tomorrow, Texas Southern, Alabama State, Bethune, Alcorn on the men's side.
Right.
And I think of the 4 first round matchups, I think the Jackson State FAMU game is going to wind up being the most competitive game out of the 4, with Southern Grambling State being a close second.
Man, you got when you talk about Jackson State, man, they're playing some great basketball. Coach Williams has them, man, playing outstanding. Defensively, man, they're gonna challenge you. And if you all haven't seen Ruffin, you're in for a treat. He can really play. For Jackson State, he is a newcomer to the league, and man, that kid can really get it done. So it's going to be a very interesting game. Now with FAMU, I'm still trying to figure out where is Young.
Okay, let's get into that. We're actually going to get an opportunity to talk to Coach Creary. I already talked to him. He's going to come through and talk to us. Let us know what happened with that. But let's kind of roll the FAMU game. You talk about a great newcomer to the SWAC. Well, the SWAC newcomer of the year happens to be a guard over at Florida A&M. You watched the game last night, Coach. What were your thoughts on it?
Man, they played great, man. They played great. I mean, they played punishing basketball. That's the style that's the way I coach the game, the way he does. He's done an outstanding job. Now, I know in the past, in the SWAC, if you win the title, you along with that comes Coach of the Year. But my Coach of the Year was Coach Creary, because I think he first year, whole new squad, and the way they competed and played this year, he did an outstanding job, man.
And the turmoil that he had to go through to get the job.
Personally, yes.
The surrounding situation.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Sir. So my hat's off to him, man. He has done a remarkable job, man. And I hope that the extension has been signed. I hope everything is wrapped up. But he galvanized his team, man. He got these kids playing hard. They played exceptional basketball. The only bad spot they had the whole year was when they made the trip to Alabama.
Yeah.
Losing to State and A&M. Yep.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think you got to look out for them, man. You got to look out for them. They're deep. They're deep, man. They can play.
Drew?
FAMU has had Jackson State's number. I think stylistically, and this is why I'm really intrigued about this game, stylistically, FAMU and Jackson State, this is a bad matchup for Jackson State, point blank. FAMU against Jackson State. This is the one team that Jackson State needs to be scared of in this tournament because stylistically, they do not match up well with the Rattlers.
But here's the thing now. Who in the Rattler uniform gonna mess with Grant in the paint now? You got Grant in the paint. All right, now 24. Lord, I have my brain cramp right now. For FAMU, he's from Alabama.
The big kid.
Yeah. 20. Yeah. Now he's big, but Grant is bigger.
Grant has curves with him a little bit.
And like I say, stylistically, this makes it good because you got the post from Jackson State against all those guards from Florida A&M who are not afraid to fire it up for 24, 25, 26 feet. And if FAMU shooting is hot, it's going to be a long night for Jackson State because 3 is more than 2 every time.
That's Coach, before you say that real quick, Melvin Beal from the Rattler Sports Network mentioned last night the Rattlers are the number 1 team in taking and making 3-pointers in the SWAC.
Yeah, they are number 1 in the SWAC with the 3-point shot. But now here's my thing. If Young is not available, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. Now, I don't know. Last night I said I didn't know if it was some disciplinary reasons or if he was injured. But either way, if he's not in the lineup, that's going to hurt FAMU now.
It definitely will.
They need him because now Jackson State has to account for him.
Yes.
If he's on the floor, they got to account for him, and that gives somebody else an opportunity to be open.
He is the SWAC Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, for a reason.
So you got to make him. You got to make somebody available for him. Point of information: we saw him last night. He looked to be limping, but we don't know.
Roy. I'm gonna talk over you. You giving out too much information, man.
What dude? He was in the stadium. Everybody saw him.
Hey, Roy, that's why I said on air last night, I said, I'm not going to speculate, but when a kid misses a game like this, it's either disciplinary or there's an injury. You know, that's common sense. And then when you're talking about the player of the year, you got a guy out, you got a guy coming out and playing the way he's played all year, and then he's not available for you in that first game. See, that could have been crucial for Florida A&M last night.
Well, now, one thing FAMU is going to have to do is they're going to have to make sure that they limit Jackson State to 1 shot.
Oh, yeah.
Offensively. Everybody has got to go to the boards. There were a few times yesterday where I saw shot go up. All right, you got the rebound. I'm leaking out.
Yep.
FAMU can't do that against.
You won't be able to do that against
Tigers.
Jackson State. They will have to get in there. As you said, it's going to have to be a team effort because Jackson State already has the size on them.
Right.
So they've got to make it an effort, box out, play fundamental basketball, and do what they've got to do to get into those situations.
Right.
So,
it's got to be very intentional. The defense is going to have to work for them, and they got to be able to control the glass.
Most definitely. So, folks, let's do this. Well, hold on. Let's go ahead. Them boys got a question. If JSU can get 2 of their 4 guards hot, JSU will be a problem for FAMU. Thoughts?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree because I love Ruffin. Ruffin can really get it done, man. And he's one of the top scorers in this league. His quickness, he sets the table for Jackson State. So I really like Ruffin.
Anytime you could get shooting from the outside and you have a post presence on your team, that's why they put the 3-point arc in. It creates space for those bigs. Now, the one thing those guards have to do when they get hot is remember, you still got to feed the beast. You still got to dump it down to the big every now and then. Don't let him get all his points off of offensive rebound because you know, Coach, them big fellas get mad because you not getting the shot until those bigs kill the boards offensively and defensively. Yeah. So you still got to remember to feed the beast. Although you need to guards to
Since
be hot.
2002,
All right, folks. Stay tuned with us. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. I think we'll have some post-game press conference information coming from our man Charles Bishop in the building. But we'll be back right here. It's the BCSN Game Time Show live from the Starry 2025 SWAC basketball tournament in College Park, Georgia.
Well, how much time do we got left before the
Follow us
game?
on social media,
16.
Facebook.com/empowerment
So I'll do one more
resources,
segment and then I gotta go.
Instagram.com/empowerment
I mean, I was going to go till like 5 before the game was.
Oh, no, I got.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back to the BCSN Game Time Show live from the Gateway Center here in College Park, Georgia. We're getting ready to get going. As you can see now, it's the man, Charles Bishop, has joined the seat. What's happening, Charles?
I'm doing well, It's been a long morning, but got a long day to go.
Charles, give us give us your thoughts on that first game of the day.
I think Texas Southern women, they've had Prairie View's number all year. They really came out and was able to knock down their threes, and that's something Coach Sandy Pugh talked about in the post-game interview, that she just felt like Texas Southern was able to get up and get rolling, and they were never able to really get into their offense. So that played a huge role in this game. And then when you got players like Lasia Vantroy, I think she had 17 points and 11 rebounds. She was a real difference in this ball game.
All right. So we got to do it. I mean, I don't think we can get away from it. We know that we're going to be getting ready to shut down for this particular game, and we'll get more deeply into it. But we have a rattler. We have a tiger. They gonna match up tonight. Oh, let's see what that conversation's gonna be like, gentlemen.
Well, it should be fun. I mean, it's one of those things I think Mo Williams has been looking forward to get the tournament play. He knows he has a young man by the name of Deshaun Ruffin, former McDonald's All-American. And, whatever parameters that they've had on him all during the course of this season, they're going to take the training wheels off, if you will, this afternoon. I think it'll be fun. But FAMU is one of those teams that they're so much fun to watch when you take a look at them. And I was very impressed last night by Shaquille O'Neal. He had a tremendous game last night. We hadn't seen that from him, especially at Texas Southern.
I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, you look up and it's like, wow, look at this. He's a high flyer, so who knew?
And he did get out and get some runs, some open runs, and was doing some great things on defense. There were, and I don't know how much you saw it, but I know here in the stadium, man, there was a lot of Rattlers thinking that there was a whole plethora, a virtual cornucopia of bad calls going on.
That's FAMU
that
people.
Situation.
Hey, well, one fan base welcomes the other fan base. It'll be Jackson State folks that'll be complaining about calls tonight too. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be a fun matchup.
Definitely looking forward to that game tonight. Drew, you got anything you want to add into it?
If I could hear anything that y'all was saying, I would be able to add something to it. It is tough to hear up in here with these two bands warming up. But number one question for FAMU, obviously we stated earlier, will Young play today?
Yeah, I was about to say, will Starry Young play tonight? Yeah.
And if Young doesn't play, Matthews had a good game last night, but who's going to be that second scorer for FAMU? Will it be Chapman? Will it be Washington? Will it be O'Neal? Somebody's going to have to step up and fill in the scoring gap open by Young if he's not able to play today. So that's really the big question.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing with both teams because you know who the stars are, but who are the intangible guys? Who are the Dorian McMillans? Who's the individual who's going to step up in Young's place? I think those are some of the storylines. Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, exactly.
Stepping up and doing
we saw that last night. How many points did he score last night?
We'll get the stats. We'll have more of that information when we do preview that game a little later. But before we get out of here, we're going to go ahead and make this the last little piece that we do. Let's talk about what's coming up next. Southern versus Grambling.
Tremendous defensive team. When you talk about Southern, they don't have a player in the top 20 in scoring. They don't have a player in the top 20 in rebounding. They just get it done with plain old fundamental defense, team basketball. And I've watched them over the course of the season. Once they get up and going, they get a little 8-0 run, a 10-0 run. It's lights out because they play such great defense. The thing for me with Grambling, Kentavious Dozier. Can he get up and going? Because he seems to be the fulcrum for the Grambling offense.
Drew, what are you thinking about this Southern Grambling game?
Oh, it's on me now.
It's too loud for you.
I have it when you get old, folks.
Look, it's real simple. Southern leads the league in scoring. Southern leads the league in scoring margin. Grambling, negative scoring margin. Grambling only averages 6 or 7 points a game. But Grambling does have the number one defense. So it's gonna be who is able to inflict whose style on the other team person. Will it be Southern as the number one scoring offense in the SWAC, or will it be Grambling as the number one defensive team in the SWAC? Who's ever able to inflict their style will win this ball game.
Strength against strength is what I'm hearing you boys say.
Very much so.
All right, folks, what we want you to do is get ready. Check out all the games they are on ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus.
Yeah. We will be in at halftime to give you a little jump in on what's going on and also possibly talk to the commissioner if we don't do that between the next game. Other folks and dignitaries that are here, again, we are live at the Gateway Center here in College Park, Georgia, just south of Atlanta, right next to the airport. It's going to be a stone gas, man. The Starry SWAC 2025 basketball tournament. It's the BCSN GameTime show with the BCSN Sports Wrap. With inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Dr. Cavill, the dean, is in the building tuning in. We'll see you a little later. Let's go ahead and get this last one in here before we get out of here. Good afternoon, gents. Congrats to the Savannah State men's